University of Nevada, Las Vegas has a long tradition of nurturing local talent, people whose contributions have made it possible for our thriving community to exist and evolve. Few have made as unique a mark on the culture and commerce of Las Vegas as Lonnie Wright.
He's a gentle giant, but when he comes in a room, it shifts. You know, I always believed he should have ran for politics.
He was a brilliant student. We could talk from now till doomsday, and I couldn't finish all the reasons I admire Lonnie.
From the glories of the basketball court to a lifelong career in hospitality and gaming, Lonnie Wright has made his life a testimony of the power of dedication and, most of all, teamwork.
Lonnie was a trendsetter. Lonnie always thought outside the box. And I think more than anything else, because of his personality, he was such a networker, but always with a cause.
He had a vision at an early age. And you know, some of us thought he was crazy, but he saw things way ahead of us.
But his story doesn't begin in Las Vegas. In the 1940s, Lonnie Wright's maternal grandparents left their native Pine Bluff, Arkansas, for job opportunities in southern Nevada, bringing his mother, Bobby, with them.
You know, right after the war, a lot of blacks migrated here to Las Vegas, and it was the only state and the only city that, besides Reno later, to have gaming, so it grew.
In high school, Lonnie Wright excelled at both football and basketball, graduating from Western High, class of 1970.
I probably was a better football player. I was a split end, and it was more of a challenge to play basketball than it was to play football.
His athletic prowess eventually earned him a scholarship to play college basketball in the early 1970s under UNLV legacy builder Jerry Tarkanian.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to play. I was recruited by Rolling Tide. He went and signed a contract to be the coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. And then I had to make John Bayer's team, and then I had to make Tark's team because I didn't want to lose my scholarship. I really put emphasis on being a student athlete. And not only did I get my undergrad, but I got my master's and my doctorate from UNLV. So education has been a real core value within the Wright family.
After coming halfway across the country, when she was just a child herself, raising her sons as a single mother, Mrs. Bobby Wright.
Well, my mother gave birth to me when she was 15. So she was a child having a child. But my mother never stopped going to school to get educated. She was always preaching education to us. The reason why I graduated on time was that I took college courses before I became a freshman. I took college courses under the auspices of the Upward Bound program. And so I had 18 credits to the good before I became a freshman. I just knew I was going to graduate.
After his college graduation in 1975, Lonnie was keen to take advantage of the opportunities he had. As the city of Las Vegas emerged from years of social and economic segregation, he would become the only African-American dealer at Binion's Horseshoe downtown at the tender age of 22.
He was one of the guys that would tell other athletes, basketball players in particular, listen, when you come to Las Vegas, there's opportunity here. You can leverage that. Your playing days can be leveraged into something that when you graduate, there will always be something here for you. And he was proof of it in many different ways.
Back in the early 70s and before, student athletes only had 4 years to graduate on a 4-year scholarship. I just saw a lot of my colleagues, the guys that were on scholarship at that time, I saw them putting all their eggs in one basket, and that is they wanted to play pro. And if they did not play pro, they ended up in their respective ghettos, never to be heard from again. So I started that organization to go and give these guys a second and third chance to graduate, to take advantage of that golden opportunity of getting a college degree.
But as Las Vegas was changing rapidly, and thanks to his understanding of teamwork, communications, and mutual respect, he was able to become one of the city's top educators in the hospitality industry.
The school that he operates right now, called Hospitality International Training, or HIT, we place probably over 80% of our students. We also go into places where people are incarcerated and teach them skills for when they get out, to give them an opportunity to have a job and work.
In the summers of 1988 and 1989, Caesar's Palace sponsored the UNLV alumni on tours of the Far East.
Caesar's Palace Far East Marketing Department sent Lonnie Wright as a special envoy to Asia.
I was asked by Caesar's Palace to develop a team and coach that team and to travel in the Far East. We did that for 3 years running. Well, I never lost a game as a coach because I had all the horses.
Eventually recruited by the Kangwon Land Project, Lonnie Wright would train management for what would be the first casino built domestically in South Korea.
The American College of Singapore saw that I had an undergraduate degree in hotel management, and I had a master's in post-secondary, secondary ed. The president of that school got in contact with me and asked me if I would be interested in helping him formulate a hospitality school at the American College of Singapore, and I said yes.
Back home, now Dr. Lonnie Wright had become an adjunct professor in hotel administration at his alma mater. Education, his one enduring passion, continued to dominate his work at home. But he always strived to balance his career with the tireless task of giving back to the community.
Back at CSN, I started a homeless program. You know, most academics don't think about the homeless. I started a homeless program with the Salvation Army that is still going now. Always, want to give back.
Philanthropy and community support were one part of Professor Wright's mission and ultimately his ministry.
The history and the knowledge that he has educationally, but the experience that he has.
I mean, if you step back and look at a lot of things that he's done in his lifetime, you could label him a great black man.
And he shall be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
I tell a lot of young kids that if you just take 1/8 of the energy that it takes to run up and down the floor, you undoubtedly would graduate, be an A student, AB student without a problem. And it's just channeling that focus and that energy into academics.
The legacy of Professor Wright's decades of service to the Las Vegas community has left an indelible imprint on the history of his hometown. And as an African-American businessman, a proud alumni of UNLV, a man of faith, and ultimately a proud son of Las Vegas.